Hey guys, Mr. Myers with you. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about doing your differentiation in your calculator. So we use a TI Nspire in my class, so I'm just going to show you really quickly how to use your TI Nspire to find the derivative at a specific point. If you have a TI Nspire CAS, then you're going to want to use the same way that I show you here. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up a calculator tab. So I'm going to bring up my calculator here. You're going to open up a calculator tab, and we are going to find the calculus stuff under menu, and here we've got all the stuff we need for calculus. And so we want to find the derivative. We're looking for derivative at a point. Now I'm using a CAS version here, so you might not see a few of these functions if you're using a regular TI Nspire CX, but don't worry about it. Really, this derivative at a point is also going to be in yours. So we want to use derivative at a point to find the derivative at an x value. So we're going to give it our variable. We want to tell it what value that we want. So on my problem that I have here, we're going to do number 19 here. We want f of x equals x cubed plus 3 to the x. Find f prime of 2. So my value is going to be 2. Okay, so I'm going to put a value of 2. I want the first derivative. I hit OK. Okay, now it comes up, it pops up just like I had mentioned here what it's going to look like. All right. So we're going to put in this command that I have right here. So d dx of my function x cubed plus 3 to the x. And it's already going to say evaluated at x equals 2, so I'm just going to hit enter. And mine's a CAS version, so it's going to give it to me in ln form. But if we want the approximation, we're going to go ahead and go up there, click it again. We're going to hit Control Enter. Control Enter gives me an approximation, and it's going to give me 21.888. Remember that in AP we round to 3 decimal places. Okay, so we've got 21.88. And that's what I would write on my paper right here. So on my paper, I would write 28.88. Sorry, I didn't have my pen out. Gotta hurry up here. So we got 28.88888. Is that what I said? 28.888? 21. I'm sorry, 21.88. Okay. I thought I had a little bit. I thought I had too many 8s. Too many 8s. Maybe I'm just hungry because I need to eat. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and do the next one. So we want ln of x squared minus 3, and we'll find g prime of 2, g prime of 4, and we'll also sketch the graph of g prime of x. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so we're gonna do our command again, and what's nice is we can just go up, click enter, then go across, change our function, and our function was ln of x squared, so ln of x squared minus 3, and we keep scrolling over, and we're evaluating at x equals 2. When we enter, we get 4. All right, what's my little thing here? Domain of result might be larger than domain of input. That's okay. All right. We want another one. So g prime of 4. Boom. And we want another one at, we want to sketch g prime of x. So I'm going to go and do that in just a second. Okay. So notice here that it's pretty easy to keep copy and pasting, right? In an Nspire. If you're using an 89, well, if you're using an 84, you're not really watching this video, are you? Okay, so that's how we do derivatives in our calculator. To save time with confusing parentheses, we could let f of 1 of x just equal this function right here. All right, so if we wanted to, we can graph this, and we can just put ln of x squared minus 3. All right, so that gives us our graph. And then if we go over to our back to our calculator, and we just plug in here, all these crazy parentheses, f1 of x, boom, gives us the same thing, right? So all we got to do now, if we want to take another one and we want to, we just change that guy and we get the answer for that. All right, so that's pretty nice and simple for us. So if we wanted, 21 there, if f of x equals absolute value x, find f prime as 0. Well, you know that absolute value is not going to be defined right there. So if I do that, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the absolute value is in here, in this little button right here. There's absolute value of x, and we'll change this to x equals 0. And it says plus or minus 1. It has a problem seeing that because, let's see if it'll do it. If I do Control Enter, plus or minus 1. So the reason that happens is because in the cast it's actually doing the limits, and the limit from the left and the limit from the right are going to be -1 and +1, and they're not going to equal. So our derivative is actually not differentiable there. So we got to be careful when we have a place that's not differentiable in our calculator, because it might just give us something that we don't want. Okay, all right, let's go back to the question here that said, how do I graph the derivative, sketch the graph of the derivative g prime of x. So here's g of x. So this is actually too bad in our calculator. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to our graph, and we're going to hit Menu, Entry, Edit, Function, so that we get a new function here. And then in our little button here next to our book, we're going to click, and we have a d with this little space here. This is our derivative, so we're going to click on that. And we're going to have d dx, and we're doing the derivative of our f1 function, so f1 of x. Okay, and then we hit enter, and there's our derivative in red. Okay, so that's how we can sketch the graph of the derivative, and once we have our regular graph. All right, so that's how we graph derivatives, and we do derivatives and find a derivative point in our TI Nspire.